Hello, and if you are a user of the Gregorian calendar, Happy New Year! Welcome to Doomed. Not so solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. It is a new year. It is currently the same old thing. The same old thing is the end of the world. And of course, if it is the end of the world, then I need to be joined by my partner in crime. I am joined today by the Crosshair.
Hello.
Hello, the Crosshair. I've got my big old mug of coffee. It's like half
Yeah, I
a
have coffee. Coffee too.
Yeah.
At 6 p.m. because, of course,
That's the best time for coffee, for sure.
yeah, morning coffee.
Right. Wait.
Technically, I'm having a morning right now, but
In a sense, I suppose.
yeah, because my morning got delayed. So
Right. Oh, okay, so we're not counting the morning if it was delayed. I understand.
yeah,
Okay. I like that.
it's time travel stuff.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it. Well, welcome back, one and all. The plan, I think, originally was to, or at least in my mind, I was really excited to kind of wrap up this campaign pre-New Year's so that the New Year could be New Year, new Twoomed or whatever. It didn't work out for a variety of reasons, most of them having to do with a little bit of illness here and there. But that does mean that we get to ring in the New Year on Doomed with some old familiar faces, Daisy and Joe.
Yeah,
Which is great.
it's like a reminder that this shit is still going on in 2024.
Yeah, exactly. Just because you want to wipe the slate clean doesn't mean that the old gods will let you. I think is kind of how I choose to see it. Basically. So if you are new here, welcome. You can check the timestamp down below for... you can check the description, rather, down below for a timestamp as to when we get back into the action. If you are new here, though, why? Go back to the beginning of this campaign. See the journey that Daisy Walker and Joe Diamond have gone on to get to where they are now. I beg you, please. But of course...
Or don't.
Or don't. Yeah, no, I mean, what am I, your mom? Come on, do what you want. We are going to do a little sum up, make sure we know kind of where we're at. And because we're mid-scenario, and it's been a couple of weeks, I am going to definitely need a refresher on all of the moving bits and bobs on the board. Moving being the operative word here. And then I think we'll be able to dive back in and see what we can accomplish.
If we can.
What can we accomplish? That's the real question. And then there you go. Yeah, I think that's all I really need to say about what the plan is for the stream.
For the stream at least.
At least for the stream, exactly. No, the plan for the scenario, I mean, let's not even... we have to make one at some point, but... we have, Daisy and Joe, as we know here, just a very brief kind of reminder or summary of the campaign. Daisy Walker, the librarian, was hired to check in on a missing shipment of artifacts from Greece. She got into contact with an old private investigator, Joe Diamond. Together, they stalked the docks. They stalked a mobster auction house. They ended up getting attacked by a conspiratorial group of mob men and gangsters and government guys. They uncovered a conspiracy to raise the lost continent of Aurelia from the deep to reawaken the old one, Cthulhu, being run by, in part, the Masonic Temple, or rather, traders within the Masonic Temple. They then steamed across the ocean to try to undo this. Ended up in Singapore. They were trapped within a strange dome of what would the strange dome be? It was
Euclidean magic.
Yeah, Euclidean magic. Very good. Yeah, non-Euclidean magic. Very good. I like that. which kind of broke their minds, but they managed to escape eventually, found their way, once again, across the ocean to the volcanic island of Krakatoa, where they managed to put a dent in the cultists' numbers, but were unable to stop their plans. The architect's project was fully completed, and the island of Relia was raised from the deep, which is where we are now. So that basically sums up the campaign so far. Daisy and Joe have found themselves on this island where the laws of physics do not apply in terms of how people move from one place to another. It's been very, very strange indeed. Cthulhu, summoned, of course, by his namesake. Welcome to Doomed. I am joined today by the Crosshair. Hello. Enjoy your paper Arkham evening. I hope that's a really good time, and thank you for the wish of best of luck. We're doing a big old re-summarization of everything on the board, because I need to be reminded of all this insanity, because it is wild. Okay, so, have I more or less summed up where we're at? I think that's about it in terms of the campaign itself, where we've gotten to. Yes. In terms of where we're at here in the scenario, as I mentioned, we've already played part of the scenario. The first agenda, first act, have come and gone. I'm going to reread the agenda and the act, and then, again, kind of summarize what the board state is, where we're at, what we've got going on, and all of the mess of stuff that we've gotten ourselves into. It's the beginning of the investigation phase, is where we're at in the round. Agenda 2A, The Great Dreamer's Pursuit. The terrible squid dragon bears down on you, but the warped terrain of Relia makes it difficult to see just where and when it will strike at you. So there's some rules text here. Clues cannot be discovered from locations whose orientation does not match the orientation of your investigator minicard. So getting clues means that you need to be the same way round as the location you want to get the clues from. Each location is connected to each other location during the enemy phase, so enemies can move anywhere. Forced. At the end of the mythos phase, shuffle each face-down copy of Inescapable Reach together. Flip X of them face up. X is the amount of horror on this agenda, 2. We'll look at those in a moment. They essentially tell us where Cthulhu's Reach is coming next.
Tentacles.
Tentacles. Act 2A, Reverse Architectured. These pillars, made in imitation of the unknowable, must be toppled. Only once they lie in broken ruin can this unnatural place return to whence it came. Which, you know, I assume will also mean the demise of Daisy and Joe, but we're not going to worry about that yet. There's an action on the act, which says rotate your investigator minicard 90 degrees, clockwise or counterclockwise. You can place a clue on your location to reduce this ability's cost to a free trigger. Relia locations also have non-Euclidean place a horror on this location, so when you leave, which seems, I don't really know what that does, but again, I do remember, but we'll have to check out what that means. There's a reaction on the act as well. After you move to a location, if the orientation of your minicard matches that location, you can take a move action 3 times per turn. Objective. When a story card enters the victory display, you must immediately advance. Now, from what I remember, the story cards here, we have one in the victory display already. There was an arcane pillar that Daisy, if I'm not mistaken, managed to, like, fuck up pretty intensely, which is good. Like, I mean, destroy it. Gradually grow familiar with the ebb and flow of energy and divert it back at the pillar itself, tearing away a considerable chunk of the stone in the process. Daisy, of course, being a seasoned magic user by now, which is great. So this pillar has been destroyed. So that's one of the 4 pillars on the island of Relia that need destroying. So that's a number of the pieces of rules text here. I'm gonna continue, and Crosshair, I know I'm gonna probably take a while with this, so my apologies. But just to, again, it's mostly for me to try to get everything straight in my head. Okay, The Inescapable Reach cards, there are 4 of them. 2 of them are currently face up. They are called Down and Up. Basically, they come into play, they can't be cancelled, ignored, or leave play, so you can't get rid of them. Fine. Cthulhu is considered to be at each location that is oriented down and up. There's a reaction on these cards. At the start of the investigator phase, you are allowed to place 1 doom on Cthulhu to flip each copy of Inescapable Reach face down. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. So you can trade a doom for getting rid of Inescapable Reach, which feels like a potentially bad trade unless you really need it to be gone. Because if Cthulhu's at your location, obviously he's a big baddie. The Sleeper of Relia. Ancient One, Elite, Massive, 4 combat, 4 evade, null health, which means he can't be damaged. Cthulhu may be evaded with willpower. Forced, when you would evade him, it does not exhaust. Instead, flip the Inescapable Reach card matching your location's orientation face down. And then at the end of the enemy phase, each copy of Inescapable Reach flips face down again. So after the end of the enemy phase, which is when enemies attack, he vanishes from all locations, but then the agenda forces him back out at the end of the mythos phase. Excuse me. Okay, that's our Ancient One, our Squid Dragon, as it were. There is a treachery in play, a scheme, which has, it has a forced effect at the end of the round. We have to either add a doom to the agenda, or discard the top 3 cards of their deck, draw each weakness discarded. There's an action on here to test Will 5, gets -1 difficulty for every 5 cards in your discard pile. If you succeed, discard it. So that's the cultists advancing their plans to try to accelerate the return of this Squid Dragon, the Sleeper of Relia, to the world. Okay. What more do I have to say? A lot more, I think. There's quite a few locations on the board. I think maybe I'll start with our play areas, actually, if that's all right with you, Crosshair.
Yeah, there's nothing much for me. It's just I have some stuff.
Yeah, you've got some things. Some absinthe, your degree in librology, which I know is not a real thing, a secretless encyclopedia, a lab assistant who's a little scared of being in this place, which I honestly would... I don't disagree with that assessment. So that's, looks not bad. No enemies.
Yeah, mostly healthy.
Mostly healthy. A little bit of the old insane in the membrane. Not too bad, though. Joe is, by some contrast, has a segment of Onyx out, but at least 1 in the bin, annoyingly. His dissection tools has 1 evidence. He's got a couple bullets in his Colts. But he is currently, yes, engaged with a delusional dreamer, which is, we've seen this guy quite a few times. He's dreaming of Relia. There's also Out of Murky Darkness, which is a tactic causing Deep Ones and Hybrids to attack Joe. They are trying to drag him back underneath. His unsolved case also on his mind, but not important right now. A couple cards in hand, one of which is a secret hidden card. 2 damage, 1 sanity, which is great, like, mostly healed up, as you mentioned, Crosshair. So that's quite nice. That's us, in terms of where we're at. And then, okay, otherwise, board state. As you mentioned, of course, Crosshair, yes, we hadn't mentioned plans or anything yet, but on the board itself, there are a number of warped islands, which are oriented either left, right, up, down. We can't discover clues from them unless we are the same way up as our location. They also all have a non-Euclidean effect on them. When you leave, you put a horror on them. Those are important because I will refer to this Impossible Pillar. Impossible Pillar is a 5-shroud, 4-clue location connected to each other location with the same orientation as itself and vice versa. So this left one is connected to all the left locations. There's an action here to remove 2 horror from among other locations with the same orientation as it to discover a clue. So 1 action, 1 clue at the cost of removing some horror from left locations. Pretty good. And then a free trigger, you can flip the impossible pillar over if there are no clues on it. Otherwise, the board is... Cthulhu is currently at up and down locations, like Joe, who is at this up ruins location. There's a warped stonework here, which is, of course, Joe's sanity has cracked, has been pushed to the breaking point many times already in terms of the perspective of the world. This gives a non-Euclidean effect to my location where if I try to leave it, take a damage or a horror, move directly to a location not connected, and then I can choose and discard a card from my hand, discard warped stonework.
Yeah, it might be actually good because you can move anywhere.
Yeah, which is pretty great, because it is only, like, quote-unquote natively connected to this upside-down Acropolis. Otherwise, it has move actions on it, but it's not actually connected to any other... Well, it is connected to, like, I guess, locations that say connected to up locations.
Yeah, which there are.
There've got to be a few around. There's also an infiltrator chilling at the Acropolis. He's got a doom on him. We hate that. I really want to murk this guy, but I might have to wait around. Okay, that is finally everything. Thank you for bearing with me on that, Crosshair. We are back around. I know Daisy has a plan. Do you want to jump in?
Daisy, good.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll let you know that my plan is, trying to kill enemies and not die. So that's just for your benefit.
My Daisy's plan is pretty simple. First, she's going to do some sketching, some preposterous sketching, perhaps.
Okay.
And I shall draw 3 cards. And I get a cryptic writing.
That's good.
So that's 3 extra resources. Thank you. Very many. But I also draw the Necronomicon.
Oh my god, of course. Well, it's probably being...
That's where I put it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. It's being called to this this part of the world, right? This universe.
Yeah. Second action, Daisy's gonna hop over to the impossible pilare. Which doesn't turn her around.
No, there is a non-Euclidean effect on this which says... What does it say? Okay. Yeah, rotate clockwise or discard the top card of your deck. Choose 1.
Alright, did we have...
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, I can use a clue to rotate myself as well. So either discard or I'll just discard a card.
Okay.
And that's the movement stone. Okay. Oh, right, I'm gonna use the last horror from the ancient stone to heal 1. Horrore.
Makes sense.
And in last action, I'm going to actually play a scroll of prophecy.
Sorry, I only speak English and French.
Prophecy.
Prophecy. Very good. I love it.
And then I'm gonna use my free tome action to use it.
Yep.
It's a tome, yes.
It is a tome.
Otherwise, I might have done something else, but... so, draw 3 cards. Ooh. And then I have to throw one away. Um,
Mm-hmm.
feed the mind
It feels,
away.
yeah, I feel like our minds are pretty well fed being in this place that kind of defies all sense of logic and reason.
Oh yeah, and then quantum paradox fires, and I take a horror.
Okay. That's that paradox. I wonder if we can undo it at some point.
Slowly.
Maybe. Meanwhile, of course, Joe at the ruins of Relia sees a man-shaped horror staggering towards him. He needs to try to put this guy down before the massive squid dragon above tries to crush him. We're going to see if he can escape. But first, yes, we're going to try to shoot the delusional dreamer. Why not? I have a gun. I'm going to use it. Not much else I can do here. I'm going to fire a bullet from the Colts. Gives me +1 combat, so I'm fighting at 5-3. Not the best place to be, but kind of the best I can do. That is what I was worried about. It's a -3, so I fail. I'm going to try one more time to shoot the delusional dreamer. Oh, 5-3. Ah, okay, good. Phew. Okay, well, at least there's that. So, it kills the delusional dreamer. I can move an insight event to the bottom of my hunch deck, which I feel like I'm going to see what there is in my discard pile, because there might be something useful here.
We have a issue here, though.
Hold up. Sorry. Yeah. What am I looking at? Yes, yeah. Like this is what I'm currently at a location with a big bad enemy. He's aloof. Like it is a disaster, all told, for sure.
And we have yeah, of course.
Oh no, it's all gone straight to hell. No, it's a good point. We're going to let a whole bunch of stuff, I think, fire and see where the chips fall, Crosshair. But yes, it is a good point that we are... I think there's a number of different cult plans all kind of accelerating at the same time, which is a little scary.
Yeah, it's a non-Euclidean pickle, if you will.
It is. Now, my last action here, I could move and try to get to a location that doesn't have Cthulhu at it, so that I could not take an attack in the enemy phase, but I would take an attack now. I could try to evade it. Also seems kind of poor. All of this seems a bit poor.
I think moving is better still, because 2 damage and 2 horror is bad.
Well, I will take it from moving as well. An attack of opportunity, because he's at my location.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Those are move actions.
Oh, yeah. No, this is where it gets real annoying. He can be evaded with agility or will, but those are not great stats for old Joe man. But I still agree with you. I think it might be better, although then he might show up at that location next turn anyway. Although helping with getting clues might be useful. So.
The orientations will be right and down anyway, so...
Oh, okay. Oh, it's good. I didn't realize we had a psychic on staff here. This is great. Well, I mean, I know you have a line to Agnes. I should have assumed.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I try to move, Warp Stonework will say, take a damage or a horror and move directly to a location not connected. which is, say, the impossible pillar.
Or any of the other
Or any of the
impossible
other impossible pillars. That's true. I'd have to rotate my guy around a little bit, which is... That's where this gets annoying, I remember now. I definitely want to get away. Maybe I'll go to the right pillar and start working there? I don't know.
Yeah, if you go here, you can orient yourself to this pillar.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a good shout. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do you one better. No, hang on, that doesn't make sense. I'll tell you where my thought was at, Crosshair. If I drop a clue on my location, I can change my orientation. Then, when I move, I'll be in that orientation. So the act allows me to move again. But then, this warped island has an effect that would cause me to switch my orientation again, which I don't want to do. See what I mean? So,
But you can go to one of these locations to...
Oh,
Right.
flip back.
Yeah, but you would still be upright.
I think okay. I'm gonna talk my plan through here and just make sure. Oh no, it wouldn't work, would it? Yeah. I'm looking at the effect on the act seems kind of fun, which is after you move to a location, if the orientation of your mini card matches that location, you can take a move action. So my thought would be like, change the way I'm oriented now, go to this rightmost place, then I could move again, but then I'd flip, but then I couldn't move again. If I move to an up location, actually, because this is a free move action, so it doesn't trigger attacks of opportunity, which is better.
Yeah, and you have 3 free move actions also with the act.
That's, yeah, as long as you're in the same orientation as the location you've moved to, which is what it says, right? So that's like the key.
If you move from here to here, you'll be in the same orientation. No.
But I could drop a clue
right.
I could drop a clue right now and change my orientation. So I can be.
Yeah.
Let's yeah.
Clues don't matter really, so
At the moment, yeah. So let's say that I did that. I'd be right. Yeah.
You could go here.
Yeah, so then I could freely move.
Or you can go here. And then when you leave, you can go here.
Yeah, which I'd be right side up. Yeah.
Counterclockwise. But then you could move freely anyway.
Oh, except they're not connected. No, this one's...
Oh, right, they're connected.
They also have weird connections. Yeah, that's the other problem. Oh, man.
Your plan is to get to the impossible pillar, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of like... I was trying to see if I could trick it to sort of drop a couple of horror on right locations so that then... Right, so that then I could pick up a clue for free, which seems nice. Excuse me. But... Let's see.
Oh, right, but the horror doesn't have to be in the same orientation.
Remove 2 horror from among other locations with the same orientation as impossible pillar.
Okay,
so it does, yeah. Which does mean that Daisy's at a pillar that could pick up a couple of, well, 1 clue as an action, which is good. All right, let me think here. So if Joe... Maybe I just go and just try to, like, get the clues. Maybe I just not do this whole wacky moving thing anyway. Yeah. You know what? We'll try it. my last action is going to be to move. And I'm thinking I'm going to move directly to this pillar. I'm dropping a clue to rotate myself before I do so.
And you?
And
Revealed copy of Warped Island. Oh, right, that Warped Stonework. Yeah, true.
So I have to take a damage or a horror, and then I have to take 2 damage and 2 horror from Cthulhu. So I will take 1, 2, 3 damage and 2 horror, which is what it is. Oof. But there you go. I mean, this is where fast action movement starts to come in nice and handy, things like that. But the hope is that we can maybe just kind of grab these clues real quick. We'll see.
Oh, but you do have 7 sanity, so dissection tools has 5 out of 7 evidence.
Oh no, those are I think that it's a weird sort of thing, but that's the state of the token. Like if you right click on it, you can change them to like secrets or whatever.
Did you add one from the
I did, yeah. I just added one from the Dreamer, yeah.
Well.
Look, we're not dead yet. This is the key.
Yeah.
Which is good. And then maybe I'll find some more soak or something. This goes away at the end of my turn.
Okay, what's the order here?
It's the end of the investigation phase, which means it's the beginning of the enemy phase. Which, Hunter's Hunt, or whatever. Patroller's Patrol. This guy's already at the location with the... Oh, actually, he is not at the location with the highest shroud. So he's going to go to a impossible pillar.
But the Cyclopean Acropolis has 4 shroud.
Yeah, and all of the pillars have 5 shroud.
Oh, right.
Which I
so
think
you
must
can...
be new.
You could bring him to you.
Yes, I'm thinking this, and this might work out very well, potentially. We'll have to see. But yeah, so I'll have him patrol over here, and he'll get a doom, but later. Okay. Enemy phase. Cthulhu doesn't attack because we're not at up and down locations.
But at the end of the enemy phase, repeats copy of inescapable range.
Thank you. Okay. Which then brings us to upkeep. Yeah. We're just doing this slowly and surely here. Okay, well. Oh, God. What a nightmare. Okay. It's the end of the round, so Ia is going to fire, which is our next sort of trigger here.
We could, of course, place a doom because it's going to advance anyway, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, that's...
Because hybrid will take 1 doom anyway, and the doom will add 1 doom.
Yeah, like the difference I think though is advancing now versus advancing next round.
No. 1 doom goes on hybrid infiltrator, and then we add a doom.
No, sorry, it says at the end of the mythos phase.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It is 1 more turn, so I guess we'll...
do the alternative.
3 cards, yeah.
Well, it does make it easier to accomplish Ia. That's a weakness. That's a vicious blow. That's the other vicious blow. No! Joe, you bastard.
I just discarded some Feed the Mind, Curiosity, and Thermos.
No soup in this realm.
Which is nice because I'm almost done with my deck, and after I rotate it, I can discard my weaknesses.
Yes, and then they'll be disappeared forever. which is quite nice. Parlay, draw, or investigate action. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, right. Did you add horror to Ruins of Friday?
I did not, thank you. Whoop. Perfect.
Not that it helps, because it's up, and we don't need up.
But you never know. You never know what might be of use. Okay, so Mythos phase. Then we add a doom to the agenda. We check the threshold. It has not been met yet, so that's good. And then we draw our encounter cards, and then we'll do all the end of Mythos phase stuff.
Just added the hybrid
sure, yeah.
infiltrator one.
Absolutely.
Just in case we forget. Okay, let's see what fun we have here.
Ooh, very fun.
That's fun. Well, it's an extra card, so...
This is less fun. This is the Damned Dreamer again, who is a 5/3/2, which is huge, I think. A hunter with alert, and after he attacks you, you rotate your mini card, which of course is, I think, representative of these people trying to knock, Joe's sanity even further off balance. Excuse me. That's less good.
Yeah. This is fine. I'm fine.
Okay. And then 2 copies of Inescapable Reach. Unless you want to draw them.
Well, I did say down and right.
Right. I believe you said, yeah.
So there's a down.
Ooh.
No, not quite.
That's a down.
Yeah, that was the down, but left instead of right.
Definitely less good. We can always place a doom to get rid of them, but of course that would potentially cause the agenda to advance. Well, so not potentially, it would cause the agenda to advance, which is...
Would it be better to advance the agenda now? At the start of our investigation. Because that would mean that I'm free to continue this impossible pillar.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I don't know. So I think it's worth us taking a risk and just doing it. Yeah, seems good to me. I think we probably know kind of what's going to happen because we've advanced this agenda before. But I don't think... I think they stay flipped face down for the rest of the round.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
because I think it adds a horror to this one.
I believe so as well. So the next round we'd be at 3, but this round we'd be at none. So potentially that is very useful.
Oh, right, but the hybrid infiltrator will lose the doom on it. So.
Correct, yeah.
So we'll start next turn at 2 when we end our investigation.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? I mean, I hope to kill the hybrid infiltrator. I don't actually know if I'll be able to, but that'd be my hope.
Yeah. Otherwise I'm stuck doing nothing here, so
Well, evading. I mean, but I hear you. It's not easy to do.
I don't think I have anything that... No. I don't have... But if I evade Cthulhu, it basically does nothing.
It does not exhaust. Instead, flip the... Yeah, exactly. So it essentially
I can do that.
Gets it out of the left locations for you. Well, for you.
Yeah, that I
Okay.
can try.
Yeah, I mean, or we can place a doom, flip them face down, and just have a round of free from the squid dragon while we try to get everything else under control.
Yeah, true. Why not? It's gonna go into 3 horror anyway, so...
Yeah, let's do it, because I honestly can't quite remember what's happening, so... Yeah, let's do it. We'll place a doom on Cthulhu. Oh, sorry, on Cthulhu. But that does advance the agenda anyway, you're right. So it removes all doom in play.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead. Boop. Okay. It flips the inescapable reaches face down. And then...
Oh, it flipped both of them.
Yeah, all of them, which is fab. If there is fewer than 3 horror on this agenda, the pursuit drags on, and each moment brings the creature's thundering stride and lumbering grasp closer. Place a horror on this agenda, flip it back. Okay.
So, next round we take 3, and then we have nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly, right? Like, exactly the problem.
It's gonna be that the agenda will advance next time it advances.
Yes, I think so, yeah. I didn't read ahead necessarily, but I know that there's another agenda under this one, so at least we're not kind of entirely dead yet. Although this monster does seem to be awake. Certainly.
But that's time, at least.
Something. Okay. Which brings us back around.
Yeah.
I'm happy to start. I have a few kind of random actions I want to try to take, but if you have a thought as well, you can definitely go for it as well.
No.
Oh, okay.
I might be able to clear this location in one go.
That would be, like, really good.
Bomb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we don't want to, you're right that, like, might is I guess the key word, because I know in Arkham things always have a chance of failing, but, like, if we can clear an impossible pillar, that's one fewer pillar for the continent to stand on, right? And that's the key.
They have.
All right, Joe. Joe is gonna free and fast. Work a hunch. Discover a clue. I am the same way up as this pillar, so that's something I can do. Sweet. Slightly closer to getting that done. Actions. I want to evade. I want to play a card. I want to kill this hybrid infiltrator. I'd rather not take an attack from the damned dreamer. So, the fact that he has alert is the worst. Yeah. Let's try. Oh God. Okay. If I play a card. I'll have a couple actions left anyway. Sorry, Hare. I thought I had my thoughts together here.
No.
All right. Let's do it. I'm going to play a card, which means I'm going to take an attack of opportunity. Yuck. That's fine. But from over these strange rocky hills comes barreling that dog that apparently will follow Joe to the ends of the earth. I have to take a horror, and I have to rotate my investigator mini card 90 degrees counterclockwise. However, I now have a doggo! Hooray!
Also, you do have a clue, so you can rotate yourself back.
Correct. Yes, which would be good. Although then there's a clue back on my location, which is less good, certainly. But having the dog down means I can exhaust guard dog, engage an enemy at my location, and it attacks me, which means I'll put a damage on the dog, which puts a damage on the infiltrator, and kills the infiltrator. Which is what I wanted to do, for sure.
Bon.
Okay. Then, before we do anything else, I guess we have to just kind of chip this damned dreamer down, because this guy, I mean, he's a beefy, scary boy, but I think we just need him to slowly but... dissection tools gets another evidence. Hooray!
Hey, one more sanity.
One more sanity. So I will try to evade the damned dreamer. And unfortunately, evading it a couple of times might mean taking some attacks, but we'll just have to do our best, because I'm probably not going to fight it well, one up both ways, and he doesn't have retaliate, so in fact I guess I'll try to attack him instead. I am 5 to 5. I'll commit a combat icon to be 6 to 5. Skulls are minus X.
-1.
Aha! 1 plus the number of inescapable reach cards in play, which is 0. Okay, so I don't quite know how that happened, but I'll take it. I'll take it. 1 damage goes on the damned dreamer. That's good. I guess I'll do it again. I'm just going to try to punch him straight out 5 to 3. Or 5 to 5. Whoa.
0.
Aw, close. Very close. He doesn't have retaliate, though, so at least Joe lives to fight another day. So there's that. I mean, it's unfortunately it's going to be slow going here, but I'm going to do my best to work on this pillar as fast as I can.
Yeah, and Daisy's gonna do the same. First off,
For my first trick.
as always with my investigators, I do 57,000 things in a turn, but
Oh, it's
not quite the levels as
Jenny
I
Barnes,
forgot.
I think was the big one. Yeah.
Yeah, 27 actions a turn. Free tome action. Let's draw some cards. Scroll of Prophecy.
Yeah, and then discard 1 from hand.
Oh, right, I did put that in my deck.
What the hell was in this bag? There's something in this bag the whole time. Oh boy. It's funny. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, that's actually... That's cool, but I need to throw away a card. Manipulate Destiny. I don't think I'm gonna need it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if I do pull an enemy, that's gonna be really good. So,
Sure.
Leno fragments.
Okay.
Let's throw those away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I'm not gonna clear this location this turn, but I'm gonna use the Scroll of Prophecies again.
Yeah, it doesn't exhaust, so I mean, you can keep looking at them prophecies. That's true.
Yeah, let's just check the prophecy. So I'll draw 3 cards. I hope this works.
I wonder if it will. No, it doesn't. That's too bad.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's fine though.
you fail, take a horror and draw 1 card. Okay. Then that's good. That's okay. 2 more actions. Farsight.
Exactly. Yeah, any long-term payoff stuff is probably, we don't have too many turns left to try to sink this damn island.
AC has been doing the prophecies so many times that he has a bit of a farsight, so I'm gonna play that. It's a fast action. I forgot I put this in my deck.
Sorry, it's an asset, but it has a fast action on it. Is that what you mean? That's yeah.
Oh, right.
Right. It's a yeah.
Right. I forgot that it's an asset, not an playable card.
No. It's
Even.
it's if you can maintain a hand of 8 or more cards, Farsight gives you a fast event each turn. Kind of. I mean, kind of.
All the time.
You have to exhaust. You have to exhaust Farsight.
Oh, right. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to exhaust it to play.
Aha! Very good.
So yeah, that was my second action to play Farsight. Then I'm gonna throw away. Compass.
The paradox, of course, continues to eat away and drain our sanities, as only it can.
Two more cards. Parallel Fates. Yeah, Manipulate Destiny. But at least that one is gone. Last action, Investigate.
Okay. Yeah.
Currently I'm at 5 to 5, so I'm gonna try it 5 to 5.
Yeah. Get that elder sign. No, don't get that elder sign. Sorry, get that 0.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna. I'm going to go grotesque. I'm going to choose a non-weakness card in my discard pile and remove it from the game. Which would be...
so you don't have to keep discarding cards from hand. That's fair.
Yeah. So... yeah, that goes away.
Okay.
Bye-bye. And I'm done.
Okay. Well, excellent. Daisy reading her scrolls, prophesizing, seeing into the far future so she can solve quantum equations with her mind, you know. I feel like she's just gone completely mad. It's great.
Almost.
As you do. Well, excuse me, that brings us to the end of the investigation phase. Enemy phase. Joe is currently being pursued by what appears to be a vampire. This is one of the dreamers who is now asleep forever because the dreamer of Relia has awoken. He deals me a horror. I'll put it on the dog so that I can put a damage back on him. But I have to also rotate the old mini card. And that is the enemy phase. So we go to upkeep next. Alright, well that's not particularly useful.
Of course.
Ooh. Yeah, we had an extra weakness added at some point, that's right.
Tick-tock, time is running out.
Isn't it always?
And
Yep.
I have to throw that away. Yeah. Shame.
At the end of the round, Ia says that we must decide to either add a doom or discard the top 3 cards of our deck and draw each weakness discarded. I'm near the end of my deck, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah. And I have all my weaknesses in place. So.
Great. Well then. Okay. The other segment, hyper awareness, and a gun. Great. That would have been nice.
Solution, I've got a plan and logical reasoning, goddamn.
Yeah, that would have been nice too, eh?
Oh well, I have horror healing stuff in the deck.
Somewhere
in there.
Well, the ancient stone, this ancient, the minds in harmony are no longer harmonious, which is unfortunate, but that's part of it. I mean, they were very harmonious, I should say. Okay. Mythos phase. We get a 1 out of 3 doom on our agenda. Again, agenda 2A. Cthulhu rears his ugly head as he takes over more and more of this island, which is his tomb of dead dreams. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
Because I had Necronomicon, I should have thrown my encyclopedia away.
Yes, of course, yeah. Or your Ancient Stone. Yeah, whichever one, because they're both hand slots, so your choice. Or, sorry, the Scroll of Prophecies as well was also a hand slot.
Yeah, so Encyclopedia and Ancient Stone should have gone into the discard pile before I shuffled them in.
So they can be... Yeah, exactly.
But they should also be... I'm gonna be fair and do the Ia again.
Aha, okay, cool. Right, because they might have been some of the discarded cards.
Yeah. Hacking boots. Logical reasoning.
No logic here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to be fair, it's a bit wonky, but fairer.
Same number of cards ended up in the discard pile. I think we're doing okay in that sense. Okay.
It's not gonna save us anyway.
Well, I mean, this is... the cards are called inescapable reach, not, reach that can be escaped at some point.
Mythos cards.
Yeah, we go to 1 out of 3 doom, and we draw our encounter cards before Cthulhu raises his head again.
Out of murky darkness. Okay, fine.
Ooh, and this is, of course, the dimensional fold around the dreamer's sort of eyes flash as he warps the world around Joe. Test agility X. X is the shroud of my location. Okay, great. 3 to 5. I mean, it is what it is. Aha! Ooh. Good job, Joe. So it's 4 to 5. So I have to fail, take 1 damage, and discard the top 3 cards of my deck, which I will do. Actually, I will put the damage on the dog. And then I will discard the last card in my deck. So, not too bad. And then, the end of the Mythos phase. Cthulhu is about to inescapably reach out towards us. Down, left, and right.
The only one we don't need is up.
Yeah, exactly. We can of course place a doom on Cthulhu to flip all of these face down. If we want again another turn to try to avoid his reach. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what other plan we have.
It might be like well, we do have to do it now, but I have 3 rounds left with Chronophobia. Because I'm taking 1 direct damage. I can't place it on Lab Assistant.
Correct, yep.
And in the enemy phase, we take 2 horror and 2 damage.
He's a beefy boy, that's for sure. I mean, I appreciate they can't, that he can be escaped, but only if you advance his plans, right? Or, if you're good at running, I suppose.
If I could... Oh, right, it can be evaded with the Brainy Brain.
Yep.
And discarding Chronophobia will trigger a attack of opportunity. No.
It is indeed. It is an action that is not one of the allowed actions. It's true. It's where it gets really, really tricky. These, ancient ones especially, I mean, of course, they don't typically come up in Arkham before the final scenario, but they tend to appear at multiple locations, and they can't be damaged, and, they're gods. It's, they're not easy. Excuse me.
If I take an attack of opportunity, I'll take 1 damage and 1 horror, and Lab Assistant goes away. And then I die to the enemy phase.
Ooh.
So I basically have to evade.
Well, yeah, we can also, I think that's the other thing, right? We can take a Doom to wipe the board of reaches, which would give us a round without him available at that, location. Whether or not that's the better play, I don't know, but if you have things that need doing, I mean, which we do, but always, right?
Or I can use higher education to bump up to 5. Because you can evade with the brain.
Yeah. I might propose a break before we start our investigation phase, Crosshair, but do we want to, think this out before taking one? Or should we take one quickly now and then return?
If we take one now, I can go sit on the toilet and think about my life choices.
Think about what we've done, yeah. That's what I'm going to do, for sure. So let's do that, then.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Be right back.
Yep, we are going to be right back. We're going to see if Daisy and Joe can continue to sink some pillars before they sink beneath the waves on Doomed. See you soon. Whoops. See you soon. Hello and welcome back to Doomed, not so solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game, with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. I was distracted by the loudness of this music here. Welcome back, one and all. I am joined today by fellow investigator, the Crosshair.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back. Thoughts, feelings about how we're going to get off this wacky island?
Well, I have adopted a philosophy regarding Doomed.
Okay.
And
I'd like to know what it is.
That is to always think of the worst case scenario. So, for example, if I try to evade Cthulhu and fail, which I could try at possibly 6 to 4. So a failure is most likely, especially with the Necronomicon. If I fail to evade it, then I'll take 1 horror from Chronophobia and then 2 horror from Cthulhu, which will basically kill me. If we add a Doom, I can get rid of Chronophobia, use my free tome action to draw some cards, and play something that will help me next turn. But it will mean that we advance the act, but it's basically losing us 1 turn.
True. This is all an excellent point. I wanted to go back to what you said before, which was that the philosophy that you've adopted on Doomed is to always consider the worst case scenario, which is good. And my question is, always consider the worst case scenario and try to avoid it, or always consider it just to know what could possibly go wrong?
Basically, consider the worst case option of your choices and then choose the one that has the least worst option.
Yep, the least worst option. Perfect. Well, I tend to agree. I think the least worst option is probably, once again, hurrying ourselves towards our doom so that we don't die immediately by placing a doom on the agenda, giving ourselves another break from the Sleeper of Relia, and then seeing where we go from there.
Yeah, let's do that. So then I can at least do something.
All right. 1, 2, 3. We place a doom on the agenda, which does not advance the agenda now, but does flip each copy of Inescapable Reach face down, and it's back around to us. I have a dude that needs killing, and then some other things that I need to do, but if you already had considered your options, so I say go for it, Crosshair.
Yeah. So, pre-tome action, gonna use the Scroll of Prophecies. Draw 3. And discard 1, which will be the encyclopedia. 2 actions to discard Chronophobia. And then as a last action, one.
Aha!
Diary will get
Very
rid of
nice.
Scroll of Prophecies.
Tell me about this dreams of an explorer that Daisy is having.
Well, she's been glimpsing the future and seeing all the stuff, so it's time to write something up. Perhaps her own book.
Oh, yeah. My Life in Insanity by Daisy Walker. No, I like it. I like it. That makes a lot of sense. And of course, I realize, we play the cards that we have. We don't always have the right thing at the right time, but this Dreams of an Explorer seems pretty good right about now.
Yeah, because while you are at a location with at least 4 shroud, your essence of the dream, which is this one, in question mark, which means it's a 4 question mark card that comes to my hand at the start of my turn.
Which is fabulous. So always good to have. Always good to have a big skill boost in your hand, especially if it's always got 4 wild icons on it. No downside. Seems pretty nice. Which I certainly like.
Also, well, that's my turn. I at least now don't take any damage or horror.
Yes, even better. Even better, which is good. Meanwhile, I think Joe here. I know what I want to do. That's something I want to accomplish. Need to flip myself around. I need to kill this guy. Let us... I would love to do this. So I need to definitely deal with Damned Dreamer. I think actually what I'm going to do is... I'm going to use that guard dog. That enemy attacks you. Oh, hang on. It says engage an enemy at your location. Well, I can't because it's already engaged with me. But I can just do something and take an attack of opportunity instead, which is maybe better. Yeah.
Yeah, you can take fight actions.
I could, absolutely.
Yeah, just thinking because it has 1 health, so...
Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is... I'm going to play Logical Reasoning. So I take an attack of opportunity, which kills the guard dog, but also kills him as well. So that feels like a good trade. The Dreamer once again spins Joe around. Logical Reasoning, I have a clue, so I can either heal 2 horror or discard a terror card for my threat area. I will heal a horror and discard Stupor, which can be healed as if it were horror. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, right. Yeah. I was thinking, like, you heal a horror and remove the terror card, but no, you... Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's exactly. It's the drunken stupor of being spun around in this non-Euclidean environment, as if, right. So that was my first action, was to play Logical Reasoning. My second action is going to be to I'm going to test Willpower to get rid of Ia, which is now a difficulty 0 test. So I'm testing 2 to 0, which I do quite like. So at least there's that. Okay, success. Which gets rid of it, thankfully. And then, again, like, what I really want is I don't know, a weapon or something. I have the ability to get stuff next turn. How do I am going to, last action, spend an action to rotate. Hang on. If I move... Because I could... Oh, no, but if I... Yeah, if I move, I could put horror on this location, and maybe I could, like, flip myself around and stuff. Okay, here we go. Now this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you can also move, so...
Yes, because this impossible pillar is connected to all of the right-facing things. And leaving it would leave a horror on it, which is good. And then what I want to do is rotate counterclockwise again, so... Yeah, what I'm going to do is move to this warped island, which puts a horror here. And then when I leave this warped island, I will rotate the right way to go back to Impossible Pillar. And there'll be 2 horror there, so I can hopefully collect another clue. Okay. Far too much. Alright. Well, Joe, we cross our fingers for you, buddy. Joe has been sort of battered and bruised, but he's still alive. His dog has disappeared into the murky depths of the dreamscape of Relia with the Dreamer itself. As we move to the enemy phase, nothing happens because Cthulhu is at no locations. Enemy phase, or upkeep phase. Ready our cards, draw. Yeah, I have to take a horror. Okay.
Yeah, I threw away power word.
Okay.
Sad, but
one resource, and you know that just is what it is. You'll get that essence of the dream though, which is going to be real nice. I have a feeling. This is where it gets interesting because I don't know what's going to happen now. As Daisy and Joe struggle on separate sides of the island, we go to 3 out of 3 doom. In advance. There is not fewer than 3 horror, so as Relia's angles swallow and shift everything that touch them, the island seems to open up around Cthulhu. It is Lord here, and you are trespassers in its unearthly domain. Huzzah.
Trespasser.
I mean, what is trespassing really? You know?
And define trespasser.
Yeah, define trespassing, exactly. We go to Agenda 3A, Dread Manifest. Terror courses through your body, pushing you onward. For if you falter, you already know the dire consequence. Cthulhu has set its terrible sight upon you, and it will not be denied. It has the same clues cannot be discovered from Relia, locations whose orientation does not match your minicard. Locations are connected to each other during the enemy phase. There's a forced effect at the end of the mythos phase. Flip each face-down copy of Inescapable Reach. Oh, flip each copy of face-down Inescapable Reach face up. Okay, that is what I figured was going to happen. So after we draw our encounter cards, we are going to flip all of them face up, and there's very little to be done about it.
Yeah, just have to evade Cthulhu then.
Yes.
Every turn.
Or, well, we still have I think we'll still have the ability to place a doom to get rid of all of them, but that's obviously a whole round less than to deal with other shit, which is not so good.
I was expecting that too, so I wanted the Dream Diary out just to get that 4 extra evasion.
Super, super good. I think that's going to be really, really nice.
Clutch.
However, let us draw some encounter cards as they see what will happen at their various towers, pillars that they're trying to deal with.
How about an enemy to screw everything up? There we go.
Huh. Interesting.
Engage with prey. Investigator with the most encounter card.
Oh,
Well,
thanks.
ain't that nice?
Oh, that's great. Good. I'll take a damage. Okay. Oh, great. Oh, right, of course. Right, I also have to draw one. Ah, perfect. All right, good. Joe finally is swimming in a sea of horrible, horrible monsters. Another, a worshipper of the Old One strides forward and grasps him with a horrible, curled hand.
Yeah, meanwhile Daisy Drew is just sitting on a rock and hee. Dear diary,
Great.
today I landed on a weird island.
Oh, great! Huzzah! Excuse me. Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh, so that's fun.
Oh, right. Essence of the Dream comes to hand.
Well, I hate to say it, Crosshair, because I'm going to be doing nothing particularly exciting. I'm going to be trying to just sort of handle the enemies that I have, deal with them as much as I can. Oh, and of course Cthulhu. So so if you have a thought about what you want to do first, I'll let you do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be evade.
Okay.
And we are gonna commit Essence of the Dream into it because it's gonna pump me to 7 against 4.
Right. Seven willpower, that is, because you
Yeah,
can be evaded
yeah,
with
yeah.
one's brain, which is good.
Yeah, I'm not. 7 to 4, and most of the stuff is -3 except for skulls.
Yes, which I will change. Oh no, I don't need to change them. It's fine. Yeah.
So if I use higher education, then it's a guarantee, basically, almost. But I do have two tentacles in there as well, so that's... Do I need the resource right now?
That is the other question. Exactly. Is it worth it just for the resource?
No.
Okay.
I don't need it. So just in case, let's make it 8 against 4. Cool.
Great.
Okay. Well, at least it's evaded. Where's the left one?
Well, excellent work, Daisy Walker.
Then I guess we have to start doing this.
I mean, yeah, I suppose so.
I would like to get rid of Necronomicon, but the problem is that I'm not at a great place to investigate. 5 against 5.
There's one free clue you can get, one action you can take to pick up a clue, which is good.
Yeah.
And then, in theory, I suppose you could also just kind of race around oh no, that doesn't really work, does it? If there was like a little move puzzle to sort of place a bunch more horror on leftmost locations. But then there's all the whole like reorienting yourself and all of that, so maybe less
Yeah,
useful.
but I could jump between Impossible Pillar and this location. Just discard a card and not flip myself.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, several times, right? Because you could up to 3 times, I think, with the reaction ability on the act, which makes it, I mean, not free, but yeah, it's a reaction rather than an action. So you can keep kind of moving back and forth. That's true.
Yeah, so if I use a move action, I go here, then I can go back, discard a card, then I can go back, and then I can go back.
Yeah. That would be one action. Yeah, you would use the reaction 3 times, you're right, yeah, and then you are right that there's that downside of discarding cards, but then there's 2 more horror on that location.
Yeah, there's 2 on the warp island
Oh.
and 2 on the impossible pillar then.
Seems pretty good.
Right. 1, then back, then back, then back. I discard 2 cards and this one has 5 and this one has 2.
I'll add some horror for you here.
Yeah. That seems like a good action.
I think so.
I just have to discard 2 cards.
From the top of your deck, that's right.
Yeah, okay. Reduction and deny existence. Well, the worst kind of stuff.
Well, you know, less good for sure.
But at least now I have 3 of those clues basically in the bag.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. It's true.
But what I need is... Oh.
What is it that you need?
I can't really use the Necronomicon right now. But I do need resources. And cards would be nice. And if I want to do anything else, that would be nice.
Oh, hello to you, Audio Gunner. I just saw you drop in there. Welcome to Doom 2024. Wonderful to have you with us. I am joined today, of course, by the Crosshair.
Hello. I'm gonna get a clue from this location by removing 2 horror from this location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. See, it's Audio Gunner. We are in the process, or Daisy and Joe are on the lost continent of Relia, trying their best to sink the various pillars that are holding the island up. Unfortunately, the twisting landscape, the massive squid dragon himself, and of course all of the enemies tangling up with them, is making this very difficult to do.
Of course, I could use the free action to put a Necronomicon horror on the lab assistant, but I'll wait. I'll wait for now.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder, like, I realize it's an extra tentacle in the bag, but I also wonder how much...
It's more the tome. It's taking up a tome slot, so... Or hand slot, that is.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose that's a good point.
I do need hand slots at some point.
Do you, though? For, like, I mean, I just, like, no money, no time, I don't know, like, well, I'm not sure what's in your hand, so I imagine there's something very exciting that you want to put down. Takes up a hand slot.
Something that might work, but...
As the, you know, at this end of all things, you know, I don't have the, excuse me, I don't have the luxury of being able to judge my actions from a sort of efficiency perspective, but, you know, I'm trying to figure out if I put a card down, will it save me more actions than it took to play it over the course of however many turns we have left, because it's you know, lots of, what I really want is my segment of Onyx. That's what I really want. Okay. Meanwhile, Joe Diamond. I'm going to throw down a shortcut level 2. It's fast to play. And then I will free trigger, exhaust it to move, which I can do. It also rotates me counterclockwise when I do so. Hooray, wee! So that's all kind of fast actions, no actions. Which puts me back on the impossible pillar. Hooray! Although, still with the enemies which are actually
Yeah,
pretty scary. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill either of these things, unfortunately. Although I should try, because clearly taking 2 horror is going to be, or even a damage, actually. This is bad news. Bears. Let's try to evade the Lucid Worshipper. I have 3 agility. I will commit 2 more agility icons to be 5 to 3. That's the best I can do. Oh boy, that's probably pretty bad. Okay. Oh shoot, and I totally forgot. Yes, so Cthulhu is at my location, which means this test automatically fails. I will also reveal Corrupting Strain. How does this work, I wonder?
E-test automatically fails.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Right? Because yeah. I think I
And
can,
you can just...
choose for that to happen. That makes sense.
Yeah, it happens when you reveal
Right, as opposed to
token.
slightly after, which is when you resolve the effect of the token. So that seems good.
Yeah.
I will choose that the corrupting influence of Cthulhu causes this evasion to fail, leaving Joe in a tight spot. But we do have Weirdness here. Hello, Weirdness. Welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you. Happy 2024. I'm joined today by the Crosshair.
Hello. And to Audio Gunner as well. I think I didn't say hello, but hello.
The Impossible Pillar definitely is not a particularly popular location. Well, there's a lot of people there. It's just a question of what are they doing is maybe the better question. All right, Joe. I guess I'm just gonna try to punch the Delusional Dreamer to death so that I take 1 fewer horror in the enemy phase. Hope that I draw something that does damage.
Yeah, it's at least 2 skill points better than trying to evade both of them 3 to 3.
Exactly. Oh, Joe. I thought my stats were going to be so good. Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, look. He loves to dissect things, this guy. Let's punch. Let's throttle. Joe's mind is essentially broken by how he's had to move through Relia. But all he can do is punch. 5 to 3. Okay, 1 damage goes on the Delusional Dreamer. Let's go again. 5 to 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Ouch. Good. Weirdness,
Says
good.
no.
Says, yeah, exactly. No, not this time. While you're engaged with Lucid Worshipper... Right. Okay, so I have to remove either the backpack or the Burning the Midnight Oil from the game, which I don't really care. I will do that.
Yeah, currently removing stuff from the game isn't really an issue.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Audio Gunner, that's a great question. This became Punch Club just a couple of minutes ago. Well, actually, back in the Mountains of Madness with Jenny the Punch.
Yeah, or... Oh yeah, Leo didn't punch stuff really, so...
He axed things. He axed them the questions. Oh, hi, Osam
Dynamite
as well.
then.
Hello.
Leo was more of a dynamite flamethrower kind of guy back in the day.
That was his jam, for sure. We move to the enemy phase, where Joe is dragged towards the edge of a cliff, which tips off into impossible nothingness. I take a damage and 2 horror. Now, it says 6 on my card, but I do have 1 sanity from the dissection tools, so this puts me at 1 damage, 1 horror left. And I have to discard the top card of my deck, which will be removed from the game. Because the Lucid Worshippers are quite literally stripping away the fabric of Joe's existence. That is the... Ha! Thank you! You're absolutely correct, Crosshair.
Oh,
I did forget about that.
Right.
Let's see here. So Joe has found a shortcut through the landscape back towards this large pillar, impossibly tall, impossibly created, as the Lucid Worshipper pushes him down onto the ground, looming up behind it, larger than any single object, larger even than his brain can process. The squid dragon known as the Sleeper of Relia emerges behind it, reaches down, and touches Joe in the middle of his forehead with one of his tentacles. I'm going to take 2 damage and 2 horror. Whoops. Which will cause Joe to be defeated. I'm gonna leave the manner of his defeat open for now because I'm not 100% sure what will happen.
These boys.
They are there.
Oh, and every location is connected.
Yes,
joy.
but they have. They've attacked this round at least.
Yeah. Okay.
We move to upkeep, where we surviving investigators draw cards and gain resources.
Okay, that's gonna stay.
This is correct, weirdness. I like to think Punchy is the personification in any universe of that primal violent chaos that is just embodied in a person. It's like it's like she's like the, not exigent, but like, she's the chosen of primal violent chaos.
Yeah, it's very undoubtful that Daisy will pull this one out of her tote bag, but we'll see.
We go to 1 out of 5 doom on this agenda as we draw cards and see what will become of Daisy Walker. Ooh.
Incalculable angles. Test agility 3. This test gets +1 difficulty and gains peril. If the orientation of your investigative minicard does not match your location. Okay, if you fail, take 1 damage and move to a connecting location. That's not a bad thing to move to a connecting location. Necessarily. Well, I'm gonna test it anyway.
That's a good point, Lemon Eater.
2 against 3, I would have to use a lot of cards to not fail this, so 2 against 3. Of course.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's luck, baby.
Take 1 damage and move to a connecting location. Yeah, I think I'll move here.
Okay.
Which will add a horror here, I believe.
Yes, yeah, because you left that location, you're right, yeah.
Okay. And then
I've flipped all of the inescapable reaches face up, and it is the beginning of the investigation phase.
Essence of the Dream comes to hand, which means I have 8 cards in hand, means that I could use Farsight.
Farsight, for those watching, because this is a relatively new card to Daisy's arsenal, although it does make, as Crosshair explained, it makes sense that the this sort of person who's been delving too much into the secret tomes and scrolls of prophecies can now see into the future. Beyond all points in time, beyond all angles of space, beyond the curves of reality.
It's a fast action. It doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity to play the event.
Yeah, because it is not an action. Yeah.
Cool. Cryptic writings. That's the best event I had. Still, let's try to evade old Doomy Boy. Cthulhu, that is. At this left-facing location. And Essence of the Dream, as we do. 7 against 4.
skulls. Or, sorry, cultists, rather.
Yeah.
Cultist -3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's an additional effect here, which does not apply to Daisy Left-Leaning Walker, I believe is her name.
Hate to do it, but while you are at the location with at least 4 shroud.
Aha, so it only added 2 wild icons rather than 4.
Yeah. So up against 4 -3 does not succeed.
Oh. Okay.
And but location at least matches. Cool.
Okay.
If I move, I won't be able to finish this, I know that. I'll try to evade again, I guess.
Yeah.
How much horror do these boys do? 2 horror. That's survivable.
1 damage and 2 horror between them, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd have to evade 3 against 4. How many are there? 3 more clues at the impossible pillar. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's try to evade again.
Seems good.
Let's throw White Leaf's ring into it. Throw it at Cthulhu.
Just gotta throw
So
at
that's
him sometimes, yeah.
4 on 4. Yeah,
Okay.
cool. No.
Big old skulls, which is, again,
Big old nope.
does what it does. Oh, excuse me.
I'm going to grab a bit of absence, I guess. Oh no, that's an attack of opportunity. No.
Woo! It's the massive enemy at all locations business that really cracks my noggin, you know? Bakes my noodle.
Might as well try to evade again. Throw encyclopedia into it.
Yeet!
4 on 4 on 4.
Take this book. Hey! Daisy.
Yay!
Daisy.
So the left location is out of play. Doesn't really help, but maybe. Cool. Oh, that's that then.
That is that. Daisy Walker finds herself at, what is this warped island here? It looks like a bunch of stone pillars that could be massive blocks, or they could be like little stepping stones. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, the Minecraft warp, right?
Yeah, you're right, of course.
Just sitting on one of those while the Lucid Worshipper and Delusional Dreamer hop over on those stones as well. Okay, so they hunt, so they attack. That's 2 horror and 1 damage. Yeah. Well, I can use the 1 damage and 1 horror on the lab assistant.
Absolutely, yep.
The Lucid Worshipper goes after the lab assistant and take 1 horror from the Delusional Dreamer. After Delusional Dreamer gets you take 1 damage or horror for each encounter card. I have none.
Okay.
Lucid Worshipper attacks, remove a card from the game.
And discard the top card of your deck, which then also is removed. Like, it's a whole, which then is also removed from the game.
No, I did that.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
After it attacks, you discard.
Oh, okay, I must have missed that. My apologies.
Yeah.
Ah, I
So
see.
it was the
Oh, too bad.
occult lexicon
Ooh,
in
that
the
blood
way.
magic would have been pretty spicy. Right.
Spicy meatball.
Well, Daisy has
Well,
survived, so it is indeed upkeep. Yeah.
see what that brings us. Eh. Roll of prophecies goes away. Actually, yeah, all the same. And 2 out of 5.
That's correct. Dread Manifest. This is, of course, Cthulhu has awakened now and is ready to destroy or consume the world. Oh, this feels good.
Well, turning on end. So basically, Daisy is now standing upside down looking at Cthulhu, I guess.
Whoa.
Rotate each investigator minicard 180 degrees. Oh.
As he gains power, as his minions kind of pursue Daisy, it would appear that, indeed, as you say, the world is turning on end.
Okay, then.
But we move back to, the end of the mythos phase. Inescapable reaches are flipped face up. Cthulhu is everywhere and everything.
Yeah.
Move to the investigation phase.
Let's try to bait Cthulhu first, so we know where we stand on that. 5 against 4. 6 against 4. Yeah. That's about it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Ooh.
No.
Oh.
No. I could go out on my terms.
I think you should. Feels like the correct sort of story beat here for Daisy down the rabbit hole walker.
How do I manage to do this? Yeah. Daisy's gonna take out her Necronomicon and start reading to it as she steps into the upside down abyss, basically. And starts reading the lines. What is it?
Was it on Truth from Fiction? Or is there something else that I'm not sure what you're...
Yeah, because Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. She just steps into the void because I'm gonna use the free tome action.
Okay.
Take a horror.
Yeah.
Which will cause the attack of opportunity to go first. So 2 horror, but I'm gonna cancel one of those horrors.
Okay.
So I only take 1 horror.
Okay.
But the last horror comes from the Necronomicon.
Sure, perfect. That works for me. The idea of just consuming the madness within the pages. Oh, I love that.
And yeah, Daisy is even insane.
Daisy's...
Well,
yeah, we know that her kind of her journey into the paranormal began with that, like you said, that copy of Alice Through the Looking Glass, or Alice in Wonderland, rather.
Yeah. It's turned out to be the Necronomicon.
Well, I mean, sure. As things, as we, of course, one should not judge a book by its cover, because any children's classic could contain within it all evil.
Yeah. But yeah, she starts reading the book that she's read a million times before and falls up. Falls up towards Cthulhu as she reads it.
I love it.
At least for now.
Well, because you're right, let us resolve, the resolution here, and let's see where indeed they have ended up. If no resolution was reached, go to resolution 1. Injured and half mad, you stagger desperately away from the dread god. You can't hold out any longer, but your task is not yet complete. Is there any hope left at all? If there are 2 or more impossible pillar locations in play, proceed to resolution 2.
Yeah, there would have been.
I think so, yeah. Despair overtakes you as the warped pillars still flit at random through Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Resolution 2, yeah.
Right. There's too much work to be done, and you can barely comprehend the island or even the mere presence of Cthulhu. You drop to your knees as the stress and strain press in on your mind. What reality have you fought for, Daisy, floating off into the void? What reality is possible when this accursed unnatural island and its master exist? The world may as well cease for how little it matters now. As your brain fractures and you collapse to the soapy stone landscape, Cthulhu strides onwards to the shores of Relia and out into the twisting waves. The voices of its maddened devotees on the island hail the coming of the new age that they have long awaited. In every dark corner of the earth, jubilant voices call the same chant again and again. Cthulhu Dagn! Cthulhu Dagn! Soon, all voices on earth join in this chant as their dreams drive them mad, and the deep dragon of Relia obliterates any that oppose it. Humanity's reign over Earth is at an end. In your campaign log, record Cthulhu reigns over all humankind.
Ah, nice.
Oh, well, at least we know who's in charge. I mean, right? Like, at least we know, Each investigator is driven insane. The investigators lose, I put that in quotation marks, the campaign.
Yeah, this was our plan all along.
This was our plan all along, exactly. yeah, we were part of the cult that wanted to bring him back.
It was a nice journey, ups and downs and all that, but I'm more interested in knowing how the next couple of investigators will fix this mess.
Well, this is a good question. I mean, I have to assume that we've never really talked about this specifically, Crosshair, but I have to assume the Tombverse exists like it's one universe where all of these things are happening at the same time, but I have to assume that they're all happening in parallel, because if you're saying that the next campaign is after the events of this campaign, I don't know. There's an awful lot of madness reigning on Earth.
Yeah, because we've raised old ones from the sea, but they haven't really done anything, and we did destroy the universe in the future, but we haven't really destroyed Earth.
You're not wrong.
So,
I mean, madness reigns over everything, and everyone chants Cthulhu's name all the time, but
But also, perhaps Daisy had a plan when she decided to go mad by reading the Necronomicon and denying the existence at the same time.
I have to assume that this is part of a master plan to elevate herself to some sort of mad godhood, which I personally cannot wait to find out what her plan was all along.
Possibly trapping herself and Cthulhu in a same kind of non-Euclidean bubble, so that the ancient god thinks that he rules over the earth, but it's just a eternal moment in time.
Damn. I love that. That she's that she's essentially sacrificed herself for eternity to keep the old god not slumbering but ruling over the earth in one instant forever.
Yeah.
That's I like that. That's a very, I mean, not specifically sort of Alice through the looking glass, but that feels like a very useful way, like that feels very appropriate for Daisy to do that as well, which is great.
Yeah, down the rabbit hole.
Exactly. This brings us to the end of Cyclopean Foundations, a fan-created campaign for Arkham Horror the card game, played for your pleasure by me and by the Crosshair. This brings us to the end of the campaign for Twomed, for now, of course, because there will be more in the future, naturally. I'm just going to turn down my music really quickly here. There we go. So thank you all for joining us. There will be more to come on Doomed. The Discord is the best place to find out about upcoming streams and so on. It's been a little wonky with the start of the year. I know next Saturday neither Liz nor I are available for normal streams, so when will Doomed or Twomed make a return? You'll have to find out on the Discord. I may just reappropriate the slot for other streams until the next official campaign of Arkham comes out, but we will see as it progresses. I see, Crosshair, you're doing all of the promo there. Thank you very much. Because, of course... Yep, because in a few hours, actually, we have a very special episode of Drew Crew coming at you. I don't believe there's any issue that Liz ran into, so we will be doing a tier list ranking of the Drew Crew villain plans that we have read so far, which should be a good time. Come and weigh in on those. And then, as you've pointed out... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yes, in 2 hours. Yeah. And then tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern is another episode of Punchy Book Club with Liz and Kathy. And then at 2 o'clock, it is a return to Montreal by Moonlight, our Werewolf 5th Edition campaign, which has been an absolute blast, and I'm happy to be getting back in the room with those folks. But in terms of streams on this channel, always checking the Discord, because I have a sort of strange January coming up, so I'll want to keep people informed about all of that. Okay, thank you for letting me do my promo, Crosshair.
I don't have any promo.
No, not at all. I wanted to say thank you for another wonderful campaign of Twomed, as strange, and wild as it has been. It's been a very exciting one from a story perspective, and I love it.
Yeah. Excellent addition to the Doomed-verse.
The Doomed-verse, exactly. You can, of course, if you have suggestions, thoughts, feelings about what you want to see more of or less of on this channel in general or on Doomed, of course, throw them in the Discord, in my Biff the Boss channel. We're always happy to hear about that. The plan is definitely a solo playthrough of the new campaign, Feast of Hemlock Vale, when it comes out. And there are thoughts in the works about what the next Twomed campaign might look like as well, which I will leave you as the only tease that you get today. I think that's it for me, though, Crosshair. Do we have any other thoughts, feelings, things we should throw out there?
I don't think so. Don't be late for tea.
Don't be late for tea, or else the strange squid dragon might eat your head. It's a good time. Well, I'm off for some lunch and to contemplate my own existence in this universe. So thank you all very much. We'll see you next time on Doomed.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah.